Ladies and gentlemen, I am Israel, the game is World of Warships. It is the 8th of June 2016. It is just after 7 PM British Summer Time, 1700 Universal Coordinated Time. A little bit late thanks to my forgetting that I still had competition settings enabled on this stream. My apologies for that. Today's focus is all things shiny, new, and occasionally schoolgirlish, because 6.6 has dropped, and the community contributors have got a whole shipload of ships with which to ship you. And that came out incredibly wrong. Joining me today is Strefs, one of the other community contributors. Say hello, Strefs.
Hello.
And also someone who you'll recognise from the What the Ship podcast, Master Ollie.
Hello.
Indeed. Strefs, of course, is a CC, so we'll be seeing him as well. Ollie is not a CC and will therefore be toddling along, providing fire support and doubtless face-palming at our ineptitude, particularly if we start trying to play battleships. Luckily, that hopefully won't be an issue tonight.
Hopefully.
First on the list, ladies and gentlemen, the big one. The biggie, CV6, the Grey Ghost, the USS Enterprise. This is the new and upcoming premium carrier. Before we get any further into the stream, however, I have to make a disclaimer. Everything you see about these ships tonight is work in progress. What that means is that it's all subject to change. Every single thing of this can be altered, tweaked, changed, deleted, added to, recycled in soft peat and sold in firelighters. Who knows? However, we're going to get on with it today. So, the Enterprise, aircraft carrier, Tier 8 Premium, gets a air group that a lot of people will be familiar with from Hiryu. She gets a 2-2-2 loadout, so 2 squadrons fighters, 2 squadrons torpedo bombers, and 2 squadrons of dive bombers. The aircraft, however, are not the standard Tier 8s. They are in fact the Tier 7s from the Rangers. So you get Grumman F6, F5 fighters, TBF torpedo bombers, and SBD-5 dive bombers. Aside from that, it is a Tier 8 carrier, so we have the enhanced defensive fire consumable. We'll just pop that up to premium because, hey, why not? I mean, it's Tier 8. If you're not taking premium consumables, then you have an irate British chef grabbing a couple of loaves of bread and calling you an idiot sandwich. So, load in the Damcon party, load in the premium defensive fire as well, because carrier snipes are a bad thing and I'd much rather they didn't happen tonight. As far as the rest goes, there's not a lot to choose from. So, first module, we have Air Groups Mod 1 and Auxiliary Armaments Mod 1. I don't know about you guys, but I'm thinking that's a no-brainer. This thing, if it's firing its secondaries, something has gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, so Air Groups Mod 1, we don't even need to think about that. Second slot, we have got the usual choices. So Flight Control Mod 1, taking 15% off servicing time. Air Groups Mod 2, for 20% more fighter HP and 50% more ammo. Along with, unusually, Defensive Fire AA Mod 1, because I would like an extra 20% action time on my already 2-minute defensive fire cooldown. AA Guns Mod 2 and Secondary Battery Mod 2. Strefs, it's obviously between the two flight group modifications here, but I would be inclined to lean towards Air Groups Mod 2, just to make sure the fighters don't fold the moment they run into opposition. Which way were you thinking?
I also took Air Groups Mod 2 for the same reason, and turns out that's not a bad idea, especially if you end up fighting against air support Lexingtons.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. I actually initially tried FlightCon Mod 1 in Cargo when we had her for Super Test, and then we met Saipan. And then I didn't have any fighters left. So let's load Air Groups Mod 2 for that. Slot number 3, this is a no-brainer. Damcon 1, reduced risk of flooding and fire. Especially fire, because fire is bad. To be honest, at this point, you could go for Prop Mod 1 or Steering Gears Mod 1. It's the same logic, really. If you're taking hits in a carrier, something has gone horribly wrong. As for number 4, this is where things get a bit more interesting, because on the one hand, you've got Steering Gears Mod 2, which gives you better rudder shift. Now, as standard Enterprise's rudder shift is 13 seconds, you could maybe get that down a bit for torpedo beating if you had to. Or you could get Damcon 2, which gives you 15% off flooding recovery and fire extinguishing. I'm leaning towards Damcon 2. I don't know which way you guys would go.
Well, in the off chance that you do get hit, that one is probably the best choice, depending on whether you are going to pick the emergency takeoff captain skill, where you can take off while being on fire, in which case a fire might not be as bad.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't really
But
have a
it's
comment as I
definitely a
don't.
good idea to take
I don't
that.
use CVs very much, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wanna be staying alive even if you do get caught with your pants down.
Indeed, I suppose the argument for Steering Gears Mod 2 would be that if somebody did try to torpedo drop you, you could use that little bit of extra rudder shift to get out of the way. But carrier snipes aren't really a thing at high tiers, thanks to defensive fire. And if you're taking direct damage, well, something's gone horribly wrong anyway. So I'm going to go for Damcon 2 just to get the hopefully non-existent fires under control. Last but not least, final slot. Again, I'd say this was a no-brainer. Nothing's going to get close enough to be a problem for target acquisition 1, so Concealment System Mod 1 to me seems like an obvious choice there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the obvious choice on everything. A very select few ships would take anything else.
Indeed. Okay, so let's pull over my carrier captain, who I left around here somewhere. Which reminds me, I actually need to drop a point on this guy and pop it into Servicing Expert, just to bring him up. So you can see the build that I've got here. Servicing Expert, Dogfighting Expert, which is going to come in handy for Enterprise, of course, because her fighters are a tier lower. Along with Armament Expertise. I did think about Torpedo Acceleration, and that might be an idea. I haven't got it on this captain. For some reason I went, why did I go for High Alert on this captain? Gods, I'm an idiot. Right, well, I'd definitely swap that out if I actually had the doubloons to drop. And, of course, Air Supremacy at Tier 4. So...
Yeah, you should definitely get the torpedo acceleration. I think the stock torpedoes are somewhere around 34 knots.
Well, let's have a quick look-see. And you're spot on. 34 knots out to 3.7 kilometers. Yeah.
It sounds like a good idea to get Torp Accelerator there.
That's a no-brainer. This carrier captain has not had a reset in a long time. For some reason... In fact, I don't think he started out as a carrier captain, but... yeah, well, let's not go there. As far as everything else goes, Enterprise gets 8 127mm guns. She gets 50 20mm guns. 2 kilometers, 180 DPS, and a smattering of 40mm Bofors to cover the mid-range. Again, I'd say the theory is that those things should really never fire a shot. The argument being, presumably, that if something's getting in range, then, well, you're kinda boned, aren't you?
Well, I mean, the AA is, if I'm looking at it correctly, it's somewhere around where the Lexington is, although the Lexington probably has a bit more of a solid AA suite over the Enterprise.
Yes.
Then again, the Enterprise does get that consumable that defensive AA, which allows you limited invulnerability against incoming planes.
I was under the impression that all the tier 8s, 9s, and 10s got that.
Oh yes, but nobody's thinking about striking a Lexington, because with like tiny effort, you can easily shoot down any incoming planes.
Indeed. So,
and
also...
even the Enterprise with its medium to good AA suite can easily shoot down planes.
Yeah.
So she's pretty safe from that.
Wargaming went out of their way to stop high-tier carrier sniping, I think, and they pretty much succeeded. So, plop in the random selection of signals. We'll also put on... There's no real point in November Echo 37 because it only boosts tail gunners, it doesn't boost fighters, which is one of those odd little things. And I don't see anything else, so let's just slap on a... minus repair costs. So, that is Enterprise pretty much set and ready to go. Ready up. gentlemen, select your weapons. Let's get into our first battle.
Okay.
Right. Fancy feeding the duckies. Stress, want some aircraft?
Sure. If you need any help with dogfights, just come in
Absolutely.
my direction.
Yeah. One of the dirtier tricks that got mooted was pairing a Kugger and an Atlanta.
Oh.
Which,
So what about an
Yeah.
Enterprise and a Kutuzov?
that could get interesting. I didn't really have Kutuzov pegged as an anti-air monster.
It's probably got one of the best NTS setups of Tier 8.
In that case, that is something we may very well have to try. So, drop out to map view and set up the usual deployment. Fighters out to A and C, bombers over the island north of A just as a rally point. And
Now, I might be wrong here, but you should probably be careful of that Lexington, because he might have a full air support setup. I don't really remember what aircraft rating you actually get for using the
neither do I.
full AS setup, but 40 seems like AS, so
40
Can
sounds
you,
40 sounds a bit low for a
for a strike
for a
setup.
balanced or a strike loadout, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's either stock or he's using the air support. Air
I need to see
superiority
that deck
setup.
again.
Well, with my luck, there is no way it's going to be a stock load, so we'll assume he's running air superiority. Okay, we'll just...
I need to see that deck again.
Why
'cause
are you suddenly
it-
fixated on Enterprise's deck?
Not for the reason that you're thinking. It looked like it was really, really curved. Looked like it had scoliosis.
What? Eh?
It did.
It's a carrier. The deck is flat.
Yes.
I mean, going from... Never mind.
No, trust me, it's flat. I can see it. It's flat.
When I was looking at it as Yusro was loading into the game, it looked like it was curving as it went from back to front.
That might just have been an optical illusion. Right, first victim of the day, we'll start with that Tash Kent, and cross-drop
I
him.
don't like that thing. Get rid of that thing, please.
Okay, scrolling in, and he's going to torpedo beat the first one, and he's probably going to duck the second one. I think we managed to force him out of the smoke. And
I can see a Lexington.
Yes.
Why is the Lexington
Tash
spotted
Kent
already?
is... Boom. Okay. It's not the Russians' day. Set group 6. In you go. Set group 7. Never mind. Group 6 just...
This is
their
a
bombs.
very balanced team. I see we also have a USS Black on our team, and it just detonated a Fletcher.
Yes. Also, where are the enemy's aircraft? Why do I smell carrier snipe?
Maybe I've been wrong, and he is in fact using the strike setup, and it's just me not knowing what.
He's not moving either. His deck's empty, but
It's-
Well, maybe they're going around the map to strike
well,
you.
that's
Who
why
knows?
I smell snipe. But tier 8 against defensive fire, that's a good way to waste a strike load. Alright, torpedo bombers are rearmed. Interesting they got a variation on Kugger's staggered drop.
Yeah, it's like a zigzag.
Yeah. I'm not sure that's a good thing or a bad thing, because it makes it that bit easier perhaps to torpedo beat if you get your angle right. I think it's mostly the fact that people are unused to it that is giving an advantage. Also, I should really not be loitering my fighters right over enemy flak, as tempting as it is to keep the destroyer spotted. Good way to lose all the aircraft. Okay, still no sign of his... is that Lexington AFK?
It would appear so, yeah.
Well, he's not moving, and he's been spotted for most of the match. He might be AFK.
Indeed.
I'm tempted to drop some torpedoes on him, but the Missouri. Yeah. Okay. Okay. There's the Missouri's radar.
Yep, and there is the Kagero. So, time to waste another round of torpedoes trying to shoot a destroyer. Admittedly, this time I've got it up against a cliff, so it can't really turn. Fighters rearmed. Yeah, I think that Lexi is AFK. That makes things easier. Right.
You hit the jackpot on your first game. Congratulations.
You realise that means we're doomed for the rest of the evening.
Yes, but it's always the first game that makes a lasting impression, right?
Well, maybe.
I seem to have attracted unwanted attention.
How much
You're a destroyer.
how much
Any
on
attention is
Lexington?
unwanted attention.
Okay, pulling away from that Baltimore.
This Lexington quite possibly could be moving backwards.
I shot
But
No,
him.
he's
not.
probably not.
He's not moving at all. He's not even raising steam.
Okay. Well, he might have seen you and the USS Black, and maybe me, because
And
I'm an
just-
Akizuki, and just decided to quit the match.
Well, don't forget about the Alabama here.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Me.
the Alabama is a good ship, right? Especially AA wise, but
Yeah.
would a carrier notice a battleship over?
I'd like to think he was paying some attention.
Trust me, if you're a carrier in high tier games, you definitely pay attention to the battleships.
Especially
The USS.
American ones.
Yeah, the US battleships are just AA machines.
Well, it's a fair point. Though we don't receive any tier 9 US battleships, unlike they did.
No, unfortunately.
At this rate, I don't think that's an issue.
It's not, unless he decides to radar me again, because I'm in his range.
Oh, well.
If you give him
I
a
don't know,
reason to
it's my
radar,
own
he will.
fault, but there's so many juicy battleships over there that I can't.
Yes.
I can't
Unfortunately, they're all
resist.
clustered up, which means their flak envelopes are overlapping. If I take my planes in there, they're all going to die. And while I have 96 spares, 27 of those are fighters, so they're kind of wasted at this point.
There should be the Lexington dead. There we go.
Pop.
Aw. I was about to start shooting at him, but this might be for the better. This way I won't get myself killed over doing some damage on a carrier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Especially with Missouri there.
Oh,
This is probably one of the easiest pushes I've ever done, because they just didn't fight back.
it's nice when the enemy don't
detected.
fight back. It makes it
I
so
think
much
the
easier.
Kagero's going for B.
Yeah.
Hello, Kagero.
Yunk.
Ow. That hurt.
Right.
The Kagero. That thing's detrimental to my health. Please and thank you.
Yeah. I'm gonna smoke up here.
That is actually very helpful for me, thank you.
You're welcome. I can drag the smoke a little bit, but the Akatsuki is basically,
Nah, it's fine, don't worry about it. I'm covered.
Okay.
Just need the Bismarck gun, I'm good.
Pushing my fighters up, seeing if I can find that Kagero for you.
That would be very beneficial, thank you.
I point out that this essentially entails them committing suicide.
It's for the greater good. Trust me.
Indeed, and let's face it, there's really nothing else they can do at this point.
there he is, shooting me. A lot of things shooting me.
Indeed.
I'm not surprised.
I am just going to move Enterprise out of the way. Ooh.
I had to meet some of the Sparta battleship players today, didn't I? All of them are angling me and I hate it.
There's no justice.
There isn't.
Okay, my smoke is gonna go out in about 30 seconds.
Yep, it's fine, I'm detected. Oh, wait, I just lost my detection. They're all fixated on something else and we're probably gonna win soon, so...
Yeah, the Tirpitz is trying to get into sea. He's overextending actually, and he's about to meet the Black Sea Mines. Right.
Racist.
Moving the bombers in, targeting the Armagi that's wandered off its mate's flak defences.
Oh yes.
Baltimore.
It's beautiful to set fire with a ship that has literally no fire chance.
Right. And that Armagi does not know what he's doing. He immediately blew his damcon to stop that fire. Which torpedo bombers can just roll right on in.
There should be a very dead Baltimore very soon, which will give you a lot of help with the AA department.
Not really.
It means you get more free reign over this area. The Missouri. Okay. Well,
we won.
Disregard everything that I just said.
Yes. So yeah, 31,000 damage, and that barely constituted trying. You guys, however, had a bit more fun.
I got lucky. I got a carrier to shoot at.
Yeah.
I am disappointed the carrier sent no planes.
Yeah.
0 XP, that's not something you see too often.
In a carrier? No. He straight up left or disconnected or crashed or something.
Right, okay, well, that was not exactly an eventful first game, so you know what? Let's go again. Ollie, do you want to grab yourself your Kutuzov?
I was just thinking. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna stick with the Akizuki then.
That's fine. There's going to be so much smoke flying around. Ladies and gentlemen, initiating the lung cancer campaign.
That's a lot of battleships.
Which is odd,
The more the
because
better.
Bismarck campaign kind of ended earlier. Well, 12 hours ago, give or take.
Well, now everybody's playing with their new Bismarck.
Yeah. Suits me. You were saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't suit me, but
Well, no, I know.
for a carrier, Bismarck is better than a North Carolina.
True enough, but she's got a surprising amount of close-range flak. If you try to dive bomb a Bismarck, you will lose a lot of planes.
That's true.
And of course, you have the 10.2, 10.6 kilometer no fun zone. Okay, so Two Brothers domination. Right, fighters up over A and D, bombers up over, well, rallying north of D just as support. Okay, let's see how this one goes.
General quarters.
Isn't this the same Lexington? Am I seeing something incorrectly here? No, that must be a different one.
It's a different Lexington. The last one wasn't divisioned.
Is this one divisioned?
Sorry, clanned, fleeted.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I see it.
What I would love is the ability to just bring up the air ratings in game, because you can't do that as far as I'm aware. Once you're in the game, you can't see everyone's relative stats.
Yeah.
And I wasn't paying enough attention in the preload screen to take a look. So I've got no idea what kind of air group he's got until we actually, find out the hard way.
Oh yeah.
Also setting up the usual donuts by way of evasive maneuvers.
Did someone say donuts?
Basically,
I like donuts.
rather than having my carrier sit still at the back, I have it drive in circles.
I like donuts.
Yes, we all like donuts. Right, let's push forwards a bit. Probing out into D, just seeing if there's anything coming this way. There were a couple of destroyers I could bully. Although, somewhat embarrassingly, I think a Biskovica could... Well, they can both outrun my torpedoes. I think even with torpedo acceleration they could do that.
Yeah.
39 knots?
Yeah, they can.
Biskovica could maybe... Oh, right, looks like it's...
It goes up to like 42 or something, maybe 45. He can outrun the torps quite easily.
Come on, turn around, thank you. Nice, stupid bomber commander. Has he gone pure strike? I just saw 2 waves of dive bombers and 1 wave of torpedo bombers.
That could be strike.
Yeah, what's a strike Lex's setup?
I think 3 dive bombers or maybe somewhere between 3 dive bombers and 2 torpedo bombers or something like that. Was it? Absolutely no fighters.
Exactly, that was my thought as well. In which case, this could be about to get interesting. Turning onto Biskovica, dropping torpedoes. Let's see you beat this, mate.
I'm sad now I don't get to really destroy any of his planes by you bringing his fighters over here.
Good one hit, and if you could do the job, there you go.
First blood.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stop here and smoke up. That Bismarck doesn't like me, and that North Carolina doesn't like me either.
Right.
Oh, here comes the shells.
Bringing planes overhead in order to give you some spotting, and oh looky, here come the strike wings again.
Yeah,
and
he's definitely strike.
Yeah, and he's bunched them up. I don't think
If
I'm
you
going to be
could-
able to intercept, however.
I really want him to bring them over here. I really do. I would appreciate it a lot.
I don't think he's quite that stupid, but I think he's about to blind drop his torpedoes into the smoke.
Yeah, it does look like it.
He's idling them for now, but
He won't be much longer. He's going to see my fighters in a second.
He's already got my AA on him.
Group 6, standing by for instructions.
Yeah, he's trying for the Bismarck. That's a mistake.
Group 7,
Daka, daka,
idling
daka, daka,
the
daka.
plane above a Kutuzov and an Akizuki is not a good choice to make. I think he
How many-
realized that.
Yes, I think he is learning his lesson. Bloody hell, those dive bombers are fast when they're unloaded.
Yeah.
Right. And in the meantime, the Germans have sneaked their way into A, and I don't really want to take my dive bombs in there. There's a bit too much massed flak.
I can see a Lexington.
You can probably also hear the bitter taste of the salt and hear the wailing and gnashing of teeth. Yeah, that's full strike. Hits 3 dive bomber wings.
I mean, I know Stunt is in the chat, but come on, it's not that loud.
Yeah. Oh, apparently he's noting Lexi is 013, so yeah.
Okay. That's a mystery solved. Yeah, two torpedo bombers did sound like a lot.
Yeah. I mean, okay, with American wings, that's a bit of overkill at equal tier. Enterprise, I think, gets away with it. 1, because she has smaller wings, and 2, because they're lower tier planes.
And she's a premium.
Well, I would like to say that would have no bearing on it, but
Can't say that. Just you can't.
yes, dive bombers are lining up on our Gerda. Right, sending in the fighters.
What? Why do you need fighters? I'm here.
For instructions, over. Group 2, standing by for instructions, over.
I think he ran away from me.
Taking fire.
They ran away from something, certainly. I am not going to be getting very far with that Cleveland there at all, especially not with the Bismarck and a Hipper and a catapult fighter overhead as well.
Where's the Cleveland? I don't see a Cleveland.
It's over by point A.
Ah. Wait, is that carrier already dead? The carrier is already
Their
dead.
carrier is dead. I had nothing to do with it.
Ah.
Standing by for instructions.
Right,
Well, that's no more plane kills for me. I'm sad.
indeed. Locking on turpits.
For instructions.
Set. And adjust. And oop, just ran straight into Moggy's defensive fire. Torpedoes are running. I'm not sure if they need to do something about that non-panicked panic drop, if you're aware of that effect.
No.
Oh, I'm
Basi-
seeing it. I'm seeing
Basically,
it.
if you have a manual drop already set and someone pops defensive fire, your aircraft drop will not be the panicked one.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that should be fixed.
Yeah. Right.
Come on,
cutting
North
in.
Carolina. Stay on that course. Don't turn away.
Don't
That's
deviate.
right. Oh, he's
Do not
turning
hesitate
away.
to deviate or repeat. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. or pounds, depending on which version of the game you're playing.
We are
euros.
British, we should probably be playing the British version.
Standing by for
Like-
instructions. Over.
I don't know, just
Why are my bombers driving in circles?
why did a Turpitch launch torps at over 6 kilometers out?
Optimism?
He saw the smoke, but he doesn't know at what distance I am.
Oh wait, no, those are quads, aren't they? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm gonna crash into you, I'm
Are
sorry.
you about to use some destroyer-assisted braking?
Strap.
Please stop. Please stop.
I'm
Ow.
trying.
Nude.
Try harder.
I have tried the hardest that I possibly can. How long's your smoke got left?
How long the smoke? 34 seconds.
Alright, tell me when
The
it's about
last
to
bubble.
fade so I can use mine.
Right. Moving fighters overhead to act as a spotter for you.
Because I don't feel like losing more health right now.
Yeah,
I
I mean
can't
you can do that.
imagine
I'll
why.
probably go and you're driving. in
Yep,
front.
I know. I'm reversing. It's fine.
Okay. Just. Yeah, okay.
Fighters act
Whatever.
as spotters. You should pick up the Mogami in a second. Oh, and
You do know this thing gets very few smokes, right?
I'm gonna leave the smoke. It's not the same if you don't have shells whizzing over your head while you're shooting.
Aww.
But the smoke still got 4, 3, 2, 1 second on it.
I'm deploying mine. A Turpis got set on fire and I think it killed his commander because he just sailed straight into an island.
or he had a jammed rudder as well. He's still firing.
Mm.
Yeah, you can certainly be careless about losses in this plane with a hangar of 96. I've still got 31 fighters left.
The instant
Nice.
regret when you're shooting at a 155 Mogami and you realize that it's actually going to shoot back at you.
Oh yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah, that's a brown trousers moment. However, when you realise that that same Mogami has run itself aground and has parallel parked itself,
Is that a dead Mogami?
it will be if I can aim right.
So that's a no.
Probably not. Okay, torpedoes are running.
That's
He
just
is
insult to
pulling
injury.
forwards. Yes, it's a dead Mogami.
Okay, I'll switch to this North Carolina.
Yes, me too.
Boom, headshot,
Ow,
etc.
ow, ow.
Right, I need to do something. Oh, Hipper and Biscuit are up in point B. We probably need to do something about that.
Yeah.
So's that
Probably.
Cleveland. I need to keep following you guys.
Oh, you smoked. That's why I'm not detected. I got confused for a second.
Yeah. I am probably going to go for C.
Yeah,
The
big
Bismarck
idea.
is probably going to be there before me.
He's aiming at me, isn't he? He is definitely aiming at me.
Oh, he's aiming at me now.
Oh. Yay, he's not aiming at me. Because he could have easily killed me.
And completely misjudged my speed.
Oops. Yeah, what's left of the enemy is currently on the other side of the map, by the way.
I am aware.
Mm-hmm. Pecky Boy, yes. Basically, all the CC's got given all the 066 upcoming ships, with the exception of Kid, which we technically lost this morning. They took that one away, and De Grassa also finished her test cycle.
I hate you, Strafts. How dare you?
He took 5k off my HP. I had to punish him for that.
I want to punish you.
Please, please don't.
Aw.
I'm already low health.
You think you're low health?
Yeah. Where? I'm going to see if I can find where their Z23 has got to. Because we haven't seen much of that for a while.
Thank God.
Yeah, he might be a target of opportunity.
Yeah, sending
literally
a
got no AA rating.
swinging fighters over A just to have a look there. And Cleveland has come to a full halt.
Group 2, maintaining present course.
They should probably keep on pushing if they want to win.
Yeah.
What they're currently doing is not helping them.
No.
I don't think they could win at this point if they tried.
Oh, I don't know. I have seen some pretty strange stuff happen. I think we all have.
Standing by.
Oh yes.
Over.
Right. Okay, that's panicked the Cleveland. I just got a detection by ship on Enterprise, which means that it's the Z-23 somewhere nearby.
You think he really circled around the entire map just to?
I think he
sink
broke. I think he broke south.
Okay.
It could be a very
You're at
good.
12.4 detection range,
There he
right?
is.
There is.
Oh, there he is. Okay. That's one of life's mysteries solved.
Just another 8 to go.
Only 8.
I think it's only 8. I'm hoping it's only 8.
Well, trust me, by the time you're filling in your own taxons, you'll realise it's considerably more than that.
Oh.
Let's go lead the German.
I see a Hipper.
Good Germans.
Hipper has launched a scout plane.
That
Hipper has
wasn't
launched 2
the-
scout planes.
Those are cat fighters. Going in to get them.
Ow, 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 ow. Hipper, stop.
Hipper, no hipping.
I might actually hit this guy with torpedoes depending on whether he's got
Damn-
defensive AA or not.
Oh, no, you won't.
Never mind.
Right, so, Enterprise, she feels comfortable, I have to say.
Yeah.
She's decently balanced. That 222 loadout's nice. It's one of the reasons the Japanese carriers tend to be popular. You've got a good chunk of flexibility. It has to be said, we've run into 2 spectacularly incompetent carrier drivers.
Yeah, it generally helps.
That definitely helps. I think if we'd run into a good air superiority loadout, I would have been had my backside kicked in much more emphatic fashion. But yeah, you could probably get more callous with the planes, run a few more risks to get the bombers in. Definitely need torpedo acceleration on her.
Yeah.
I think that's beyond all question.
I think Kaga is probably the only carrier where you don't really need it.
Even then, Kaga, you get your torpedoes up to, I think it's 53 knots with torpedo acceleration, which is really, really nice. I was playing about with that when I had her for Super Test, and it made a noticeable difference. On the US carriers, it's absolutely essential. So...
Yeah, no, wait, never mind. I was just thinking Kaga is good with dogfighting expert, but that's a tier 1 skill, so it doesn't matter at that.
That's a no-brainer on Kaga as well. It doesn't so much help as it does... Well, it does help, but it only helps by slowing down the inevitable. Especially if you run into a Saipan.